Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I'm going through my email. I figured I'd answer a quick question here. At first, I wasn't going to answer this as a video because I thought that it wasn't quite relevant to the channel. But then I realized there's a couple good points in here. So I got this email from a subscriber to the channel who says, I have a question which will sound weird and doesn't have anything to do with programming, but I'll give it a shot anyway. So I'm not going to read the whole email, but he says that he doesn't have a degree, keeps working random non-programming jobs to support himself while learning how to program, which is good. And he wants to know if it's selfish to quit a minimum wage shit job for another minimum wage job after you worked there only a few months. And so he goes on to say that the current job he's at, the people that work there in the factory work are just, they constantly complain. They're, making stupid jokes, and they won't let him mind his own business. He got a new offer, which he didn't expect, and he feels like the new offer will let him work in a more relaxed environment. And then he goes on to say that it looks like a better work environment, right? And it's focused on teamwork. But he says here, I feel incredibly guilty about even thinking about leaving my current job, even if I know I won't stay very long. The boss was very nice to me and helped me when I had problems. I feel like a complete shit if I would tell him that I want to leave because I feel like he wasted his time with me. It's just a very hard decision for me, and I feel that I'd be making a dick move, even if in the end I'd be more happy at the new job. So, he says that he feels really guilty about it, and grateful that his boss had hired him and had been nice to him, but he can't stand the people he works with, and so he's been there for about 2 months and they got a new offer. So here's the deal. A couple of things here. Number one, you got to look out for you. No one else really is looking out for you. I mean, yeah, it's nice that your boss give you some help and stuff, but ultimately you got to look out for you. If it comes down to it, business is business, right? And so if you've got a better opportunity to work in a better environment, that's going to be better for you. Don't make sacrifices for someone else. Don't feel obligated, right? And then, what I'll say about this is about your boss, right? So it's great that this guy helped you out. I'm not knocking him at all. Sounds like a great guy. But if he helped you out in order to get something from you, then he didn't really help you at all. You see what I'm saying? If he helped you out to help you out, then he wants to see what's best for you, right? If it's genuine, and there's no reason to doubt it. And in that case, if you help someone, and you have no expectations on them, you're not trying to get something from them, right? Then if they go and tell you, hey, I got another job that's going to be a better fit for me, appreciate everything you've done for me, really appreciate you giving me a chance, then they're going to be happy for you, right? They might be sad to lose you. They might be upset that you're leaving. They might be upset that they have to fill a position. But for a minimum wage job, I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. But anyway, they're going to be happy for you, right? If they react violently and say, how could you do this to me after all I did for you, then you can also leave in peace because you know that even though they sounded nice and even though they seemed nice and even though they did nice things for you, they were trying to get something out of it, right? Or they had some kind of obligation or they put some kind of hold on you, right? Never let someone get their hooks into you, right? If you ever suspect that someone is doing something in order to get their hooks into you, don't accept it. Don't take whatever they're giving. Don't sell yourself. If you sell yourself, you're going to regret it. So if that's not the case, there's no reason for you to feel guilty, right? You're just looking out for number one. And some people will get upset and say, "Oh, that's super selfish. You shouldn't act that way." But that's what you have to live for. You can't put expectations on other people. I've said this before. I'm going to point to a video here because I've said this in multiple videos about not living for someone else and not letting people put expectations on you. I know I did one about your parents, right? Because that's usually the people who put expectations and obligations on you and try to guilt you. But it happens, right? A lot of people do that. So so you shouldn't feel guilty about doing what is best for you. You've ultimately got to make that choice, and it's your life, right? You're the one who has to live with the choice. So yeah, don't ever do anything out of guilt or obligation. That's my advice to you. And if you can remember those two things, it'll serve you well in life. And I've made both of those mistakes, right? That's why I'm telling you this. I've done things out of guilt. I've done things out of obligation. At one point in my life, I finally realized, look, I'm living me. If you don't like it, you don't have to be part of my life. But I'm gonna do what I want to do and what I choose to do. And if I choose to do something charitable or something for someone, good. It's coming out of the goodness of my heart, not out of obligation, right? Where I guarantee you, when you do things out of guilt and obligation, when you do that, something will grow inside of your heart, and it's called resentment. And you cannot stop that from happening. So if you want to be bitter and resentful, the formula for that is to do things out of guilt and obligation and let other people take control of your life and your emotions. So go for it. Do what you got to do. You make your choice. Be honest. Say what, you don't have to spill all the beans and spill your whole life story, but just say that you're moving on and be thankful for the people that have helped you on your way. And if they react harshly, that's on them. It's not on you, buddy. So anyway, hopefully this video is helpful to you. And if you like this video, click that little or big or whatever it is, subscribe button. There's so many of them floating around. Just click one of those, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.